Welcome to Leading Organizations That Matter, a podcast about leadership and how we find impact, meaning, and joy in our work. I'm your host, Ray Spadoni, and today's topic is Jerry Seinfeld's surfing versus yachting. Several years ago, I had a big decision to make. Do I stay working in the corporate world or I do that thing that I had been contemplating for years, which was to go out on my own as an independent management consultant and leadership coach. So I did the thing I always do when I have a big decision to make. I went on a long hike, a really long hike. Now, I'm not one to carry a tent, cooking supplies and food, and several changes of clothing out into the wild. No, I'm talking about a day hike. Still, though, a considerable one. One where you leave in the dark and return in the dark. I love doing this, and it's where I get my best work done. My best mental, soul-searching, get in touch with divinity sort of work, that is. Anyways, I set out on the trail, and by the end, I decided to take the leap of faith and leave behind the world I knew best. I was now out on my own. But then, a funny and quite unexpected thing happened. My first several clients required that I complete some pretty complicated, multi-phased, cross-functional long-term work. I subcontracted to a large group of trusted colleagues and built up my team. It was fun. It was energizing, gratifying, and meaningful, and it was exactly like the corporate world I had left behind. I recreated what I knew. One night, driving home from a client location, I listened to Alec Baldwin's Here's the Thing podcast, which contained an episode with Jerry Seinfeld. Alec asked him a question about why he hadn't gotten into publishing and media production, developing new television and movie content, executive producing other ventures when his show Seinfeld was done and completed off the air. Alec's take was that Jerry at that point was on top of the world and that he could have essentially done anything he wanted to. I'll never forget Jerry's response. He said that if you want to be out on the water, you can be on a yacht or a surfboard. He said he'd rather be on a surfboard because he doesn't want the hassle of dealing with a full yacht, the expense, the need for a crew, the repairs, the complexity, and so forth. So for him, he prefers to surf, just him and his surfboard and the waves. This was stand-up comedy for him, something he has steadily done since those days. He knows himself. And I think this is a useful lesson for life, as sometimes our instinct can be, I want the yacht. But in reality, does that make us happier? Does it make us more productive? Or do we just get swept up into all the trappings of having a yacht? I left the trappings of the corporate world behind only to essentially recreate it on my own. I was yachting, not surfing. Hearing Jerry Seinfeld talk about this reminded me of the reason that I took that post-hike leap in the first place. I wanted to surf. So, are you a yachter or a surfer? There's nothing inherently right or wrong with either, and certainly having a yacht has its benefits. It's better when the weather is unpredictable and you can typically go much further distances in a yacht. But there are the downsides as well. The downsides that Jerry himself couldn't live with. It's important to know yourself. What's your surfing? What's your yachting? Know yourself and remain true. Thanks for listening. Leaving a positive review and letting others know about this podcast will help a great deal. My mission is to help empower organizations that matter by supporting those who lead them. I offer coaching, mentoring, and consulting services. You can learn more about me and my work at rayspadoni.com.